Electricity has become a human right. We use it to power not only, our ability to see each other and keep food cold and stay warm and stay cool and things like that, but we also power our toothbrushes with it. We have iPads, we have laptops. We have a lot of things in our lives that use electricity, and that's not going to change. If we want climate action to become mainstream, we can't take things away from people. We have to find solutions to make their lives fit within a world that has a livable climate, which is something that Mothers Out Front and green energy consumers are so concerned about working toward.
I first became aware of Community Choice Aggregation when I sat down and met with representatives of a local chapter of Mothers Out Front. They were very interested in this mechanism. It's been on the books of the Commonwealth for over 20 years.
So Community Choice Aggregation, in its initial form many years ago, was a statute that was passed that allowed cities and towns to aggregate all of their residents' electricity use and go out and competitively buy electricity for their residents to try to get a competitive rate. So the idea would be that if we pooled all of the electricity use of the residents of the town of Arlington, we could get a better rate than what NSTAR or now Eversource would be able to provide to residents.
This is really a story about bringing together the buying power of all of the residents and the businesses and the ratepayers of Arlington.
There's been a resurgence of interest in it in the past few years, and that's when we've started to see communities become more interested in adding green energy into that new electricity supply for residents, and we wanted to help them do it right.
CCA really gives ratepayers far more options than they would typically be accustomed to. By default, ratepayers have the option to source 5% more of their energy from local green sources than would typically be the case. But if they want to go further, they can step up to 50, they can step up to 100%, and a lot of people have done that.
We hired Good Energy as a broker to go out and solicit competitive pricing for us, and the company with the most competitive pricing was an energy firm called Dynegy. No matter where you live in Arlington, if you get an Eversource bill, you can participate in this program. And what that means is Eversource is going to keep sending you a bill, and they're going to charge you for the wires and poles that get the electricity to your house, and Dynegy is going to charge you for the electricity and also for the extra green energy that's included in that electricity. And otherwise, it's going to be a seamless transaction for anybody that receives an Eversource bill currently.
We have signed on to the, we are still in resolution. We're committed to the goals of the Paris Accords.
It's really important that we change the source of our electricity. And so if you're opting up, you're changing the source of that electricity and you're helping accelerate the development for everyone else. So that money is going to Windy the wind turbine in Medford. It is going to the 2 turbines in Gloucester. It's going to the Holy Name High School's turbine in Worcester. It's going to the 2 turbines in Hull and so many more. We've got 2 new solar fields coming online in Rhode Island that we're going to be supporting over the next several years because people are participating in programs like Arlington's. The 100% option is particularly cool because the average household uses about 600 kilowatt hours per month, and that comes out to about 7,200 kilowatt hours in a year. So you're getting those 7,200 kilowatt hours a year from wind power instead of fossil fuels or whatever else was in there before. And that's like driving 13,000 fewer miles in a year, which is awesome. So imagine that we have 400 plus households doing this in Arlington, and we have another 100 plus households doing the 50% option. So you guys are taking half a car off the road every year. That's amazing. And even just people on the default option together, because you're all just doing a little bit, you're all just doing what you can, together, y'all are taking cars off the road too.
So the heart and soul of Community Choice Aggregation in Arlington has been Mothers Out Front. The idea was brought forth by Mothers Out Front. They brought the idea to a town committee that's called the Energy Working Group, and that was really the impetus for us starting to consider pursuing aggregation. So Mothers Out Front is this group of just really dedicated, passionate volunteers who are dedicated to climate change mitigation and wanting to do everything we can to have a clean energy future and a renewable future. And really, without Mothers Out Front, I don't think it would have happened here, and probably wouldn't have happened in a number of the communities where aggregation has occurred.
We're doing something that's vetted by people who you see at the coffee shop, who have to be accountable to you.
This was really a local effort. It really put a lot of control into the hands of local residents.
You can do it easily online at arlingtoncca.com/opt-in.
We're helping local business, we're producing local renewable energy, and it's helping Arlington.